Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Eat and Live Naturally. I'm your host, R.L. Melpica, the Eat Coach, natural health and diet specialist. And today we're going to focus on stopping manipulating your body. We're going to focus on stopping manipulating your body, right? We're going to dive into all that. And all my people watching on YouTube, appreciate all the love, but make sure you hit that subscribe button in your lower right hand corner so you can get more notifications of when I go live or any other videos that I do share. If you're into natural health, the natural diet, nature in itself, eating and living naturally, this is definitely the page for you. All my people watching on Facebook, appreciate the love as well. Go ahead and drop me a comment. Let me know you're here. I like to make my shows as interactive as possible. So if you have any questions, comments, experiences you want to share, please do so. For all my people watching our replay, go ahead and hit me with a hashtag replay and feel free to interact as well because I can get to these comments in later shows. But I got to leave this disclaimer out there. I am not a doctor or a medical professional. Like I said, I'm a natural health and diet specialist, merely sharing my philosophies and things that I've researched and learned through my schooling as well as applied experience. So getting all that out the way, we're going to dive into how we manipulate our body. And it's something that the majority of us do constantly. And it's kind of something that has been a mainstay in the society that we live in. Just based on the medical system and the way it is, the healthcare system being very reactive instead of proactive, focusing on symptoms versus focusing on the foundation of dis-ease within the body. It's only natural, and I say natural with quotations because it's not really natural, but it's only natural that the progression of that type of outlook on health would steer us towards manipulating our body. And there's so many different ways that we manipulate our body, but I'm going to focus on five different ways here. So ways that we manipulate our body, diets, laxatives, hormones, steroids, birth control. We're going to talk about a little bit medicine, as well as coffee and energy drinks. So I want to dive into these, and like I said, share comments as well. But if you think about the idea of manipulating, right? Think of the concept of the word. Think of the origins of the word. Think of what you feel when you hear the word manipulate. And think about it in your everyday life. Like, do you want to be manipulated in any aspect or facet of your life? I know for me, the answer is no. Like, manipulation has a negative connotation to it because you are basically manipulating, you are basically changing the outcome of something by fixating or altering something from its natural state. And that's exactly what's happening when you manipulate your body. You are looking for a short-term fix, which are going to have long-term ramifications. And unfortunately, we live in this microwave society that makes us look for these short-term fixes because we want the path of least resistance. And if you continue to take the path of least resistance, you're never going to come face to face with the origins of the issue in the first place. Therefore, you're going to consistently and constantly be dealing with these issues. And this isn't just health. This is in life. From an emotional standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, if you don't address your issues head on, if you don't do the shadow work, if you don't do the dirty work, you're never going to make that leap. You're never going to progress. You're only going to be constantly plugging holes. And if you plug a bunch of holes and open up new holes in the process, eventually the ship's going to sink. And we're not in the business of sinking ships here. We're in the business of longevity. We're in the business of vitality, of health, of just vibrant lives. That's what we focus on. That's what we want here. So I'm gonna get into each of these real quick. So diets. Diet is a huge one. And there's so many different diets and fads out there. And every day there seems to be something new. But I just want to get into the concept of of helping you all understand what's happening when you do some of these diets. And I'll start with two of the most famous, and they're pretty much the same with a little altering differences. And that would be the keto diet and the Atkins diet. And look, I know there's a lot of other diets out there, but the keto diet seems to be one that is has been extremely popular for a lot of people based on the quick results of weight loss. Me, myself, I tried the Atkins diet years ago, and I want to say, man, I'm just thinking back, I want to say roughly around 2003, something like 2002, 2003, I tried the Atkins diet. This is before I was a vegetarian, before I knew anything about health. But if you look at the keto diet and the Atkins diet, the basis is that you're eliminating carbohydrates for the manipulation of your body to feed off of the fat in your body versus carbs, because your cells need carbs to survive. When you eat something, your body is basically trying to convert everything it can into carbs, because that's ultimately what your cells feed off of, and that's where your energy comes from. So the concept is, okay, well, if I eliminate carbs, well, then my body's going to have to feed off something. It's going to feed off of the fat. And that works, and it happens. And it's something that you'll see results in a quick, 3 to 6 week period, because your body has to eat. Like, your cells are living just like you are living. They are basically a microcosm of you. You are the macrocosm. They're the microcosm. We're all basically just depictions of our cells at the end of the day, as a complete body of work. That's what we are. We are a complete body of work. The problem with that concept is the long-term ramifications of doing that. And it's the ideology behind it. Because if you don't change the source, then nothing's going to change. Because you can do the keto diet for 6 months and you can lose a tremendous amount of weight. But if you don't change your dietary habits, eventually you're going to get back to exactly where you were. Now, some may say, well, what if I just continuously do the keto diet? Okay. You continuously do the keto diet, you are putting your body through a tremendous amount of digestive burden by not feeding it what it needs to be fed. Because most people, if you're doing the keto diet, you're eating a lot of protein and you're eating a lot of fat and you're not eating carbs. You're not giving your body the vital fuel it truly needs. So it is going to secondary and third choices. And in order to go through that process of making it feasible and edible per se for the cells, it has to go through tremendous digestive burden. So what happens? Well, what happens is that the normal functions that your body normally performs throughout the day, throughout your life, become more difficult and become stagnated. Not to mention the other things that we've talked about in many videos of effects that are going to be a part of eating too much fat and too much protein. Number one, you're going to be extremely dehydrated. Like, extremely dehydrated. The long-term effects of that, you're probably not going to be able to walk when you're older. Your joints are going to stiffen. Your body is going to petrify, basically, because of all the salt and all the dehydration. Your body will not be flowing. So those are the long-term ramifications. But simple concept of trying to manipulate the body into burning fat instead of utilizing carbohydrates for energy gets us skewed, because we look at it like, okay, well, I can lose weight on this. And so many people in this society, just because of the way society is, we look at weight as synonymous to health. If we lose weight, then we are healthy, when it's the other way around. See, weight loss is a byproduct of being healthy, not the other way around. Very important concept there. Weight loss is a byproduct of being healthy, not the other way around. Just because you lose weight does not mean you're healthy, for a lot of the reasons I just mentioned. But let's get back to the original concept, right? You're trying to manipulate your body, right, and burn fat. So if you look at a natural way to do that, what would it be? It would be fasting. Now, look, is fasting easy? No, it's not easy. But it utilizes the same concept, but it does it naturally because your body is built to fast. When your body gets to that point, because your body is built for survival. At the end of the day, you are a living organism, and your body's number one goal is balance, homeostasis, and survival. How do we make you, as the organism, live as long as you possibly can? So, in essence, through times of survival, you know, thousands and thousands of years ago, where food may not have been readily available for whatever reason, maybe migration up north, and there's not a lot of vegetation available in colder months, things of that nature. Survival, your body would go to its stored fat in order to survive. Okay, that's where the fasting comes into play. Your body is built for that. Now, the way most of our bodies are today, we're not necessarily built for that, but we can get there. We just got to, implement a lot of these things back in place to where we can have a healthy fasting, right? But that is how you get to the origin. But the real origin of the entire issue is the simplest concept. We're eating too much fat. We're eating too much protein. You look at the standard American diet, you see what the propaganda is pushed constantly on what to eat when you watch TV or watch ads or look in magazines or whatever the case may be, or you're on your phone. I don't even know if people read magazines anymore, but I'm old school. So we are eating way too much fat, way too much fat. And this isn't a shameless plug or anything. That's why, man, my dietary evaluation, my E.A.T Optima scale is so great because it will show you how much fat you are eating because you don't realize it. I'll be honest, I didn't realize it. And once you do realize it, when you understand where you are, then you could start implementing those changes because you are what you eat. If you eat a lot of fat, guess what is going to happen? You're going to be fat. And you're storing fat for what? You're not in survival mode. You are not in rigid temperatures or frigid temperatures, I should say, to where there's no vegetation, to where you might have to go a month without eating. No, we don't live in those times, but we're eating like we live in those times. So all that built up fat is just there. So that is the natural way to get yourself, number one, in a state of health, but to lose weight, is to correct the diet. You're eating too much fat, plain and simple. Laxatives. Laxatives is a big one because dehydration and constipation and irritable bowel syndrome are huge, huge, huge issues today in society. Now, ask yourself this question: why? Why is it such a big deal right now? Why does society deal with those issues, those stomach, those gut issues right now? And it's, it's very simple. Look at what we eat, all the processed food that we eat, food that lacks hydration. So when you're eating stuff that lacks hydration, you are inputting foods that lack hydration. Then there is going to be stagnation within your body. When it's time to eliminate, you're going to have stagnation. So the short-term fix based on the allopathic society is to, okay, how do we treat that symptom? The symptom is, man, I can't poop. Man, I'm constipated. Man, I'm dehydrated. What do I do? Okay, well, I got to take a laxative. I take a laxative. That's going to do a number of things. Number one, it's going to, depending on what type of laxative, it may add additional water or additional fluid to the situation. Right? If it does that, that's going to basically be a stimulant to your system to allow you to have bowel movements, right? It could add bulk. Sometimes that extra bulk that the laxative adds is going to help with the bowel movement, or it's going to stimulate nerves, right? All these different things. We are manipulating the body to do things that it should naturally be doing, right? So instead of us fixing the foundation of the issue by eating more hydrating foods, for eating more foods with high fiber content, with the hydration to push it, we instead look to, okay, what can I do to placate my current situation, my current diet? Because I don't want to make those changes. I want the path of least resistance. So I'm going to take laxatives and then wonder why the situation never changes. Because you can take laxatives all day. What's going to happen is when you manipulate the body, now the body is going to utilize that laxative as a crutch and not do what it normally would do, even if you start to make those changes. So understand that you're plugging one hole and creating another issue on the other end. The kicker is, and this is where I think we kind of get taken down the wrong road, because once again, the medical system, the healthcare system wants to treat the symptom. So they'll tell you to take, some type of fiber supplement or fiber powder, something along those natures. But are either one of those hydrating? No. That's where the beauty of fruits and veggies come into play, because they're both. You get your fiber and you get your hydration. Those two things together is what creates the flow within your body. And that's where you're able to eliminate, because man, the root of all disease within the body is the inability to eliminate digestive and cellular waste, because those acids build up. You have stagnation, then comes inflammation, then you're lacking the nerve energy to have healing crises to actually get rid of this stuff, or you're having too many healing crises, and then disease is just continues to accumulate over and over and over. So say no to the laxatives. Let's fix the core issue of the problem, which is lack of fiber, lack of hydration, changing of the diet. You are absolutely dehydrated. That's why you have the issues that you are currently having. So let's move on. Hormones, steroids, birth control, all very synonymous. I use birth control because that's just a great example. But a lot of people get hormone injections like progesterone because they got too much estrogen, or they got too much testosterone, or they get testosterone injections because they don't have enough testosterone. Regardless, testosterone and estrogen, those are both acidic. Progesterone is the alkaline hormone that your body produces. The kicker is that the moment and the minute that you start injecting those things into your body itself is going to stop making them, because it is relying on the injection. It is relying on the stimulant. It is relying on the artificial aspect of the whole situation. So understand that. It's the core issue. If your body's not producing those things, that means what? Your body is out of balance. Something is wrong. And by not producing those things, and look, getting into why that happens could be a myriad of different things that go down a different road as far as what's going on systemically within your body. But the foundation of it all is always going to come down to, okay, well, what are you consuming? What are you doing that is causing that to happen? And look, people are born with different dispositions, based on lineage and things of that nature. So you're finding the answer to that, or finding the roadmap to that. It's going to take some time for sure, but the long-term benefits are going to far outweigh what you're doing in the short term just to get by. Like my man Talib Kweli says, just to get by, right? So understand that when you take those hormone injections, for whatever reason that may be, that you are manipulating your body once again, and your body is going to rely on that from now moving forward. So you're not fixing anything. And I don't think anyone out there wants to continuously taking injections of anything. Steroids are the same thing. Our adrenal glands are so beat up, are so worn. I'm not just this lifetime, I'm talking generations upon generations. The reason we are where we are today, for thousands of years of just horrible eating habits, not to mention the introduction of so much new toxicity into the world. Like, our adrenal glands are just out of this world right now. I mean, they are just struggling to do what they do, and they're so vital to everything that we do, from our moods to producing the different hormones and steroids that we need to actually, live a healthy, balanced life. Like, so understand that we are messing with that process instead of getting to the root of the issue and giving our adrenal glands the needed healing that they truly need. And this isn't just for this lifetime, guys. I mean, think of your children and their children and their children. Like, this is generational shit that we have the ability to change. Like, we want to talk about change and legacy. You'll see me talk about legacy a lot because that's big to me. Like, I'm not sure how much I could do with this current body and in this current lifetime, but I'm implementing these ideas, these philosophies with my daughter, with all my kids. But my youngest daughter is the one who's getting the brunt of it. I mean, she is literally, like, she understands the body. And as she gets older, and then she has kids, and then her kids have kids, that's where true change can be made. And that's what we're trying to do here. Birth control is another, like, we talk about manipulating the body, like birth control. Think about it. You are basically tricking your body into thinking you are pregnant. That is the basic concept of birth control. I know there's IUDs and other things, but I'm talking about the birth control pill, probably the most popular form of birth control. You are tricking your body. You are messing with the chemical composition of your body, tricking it, making your body think it's pregnant to stop you from getting pregnant. Now, once again, you're looking for a short-term fix to a long-term issue. I mean, that is going to produce long-term issues. And I'm sure and look, some people will say, oh, what you're speaking about, woman stuff. You ain't a woman, you never went. I understand that. But I'm looking at things pragmatically. I'm looking at things through the lens of from a health perspective and a chemistry perspective. You are messing with the chemistry of your body. There are other ways. I did a podcast with her name escapes me, but you can look. You can go to my website, theeatcoach.com, and go to the podcast section. And I did a podcast with a natural reproductive individual. Like, she preaches that, she teaches it, and talks about how you can, like, she talks about natural birth control. By understanding your body and understanding when it is ovulating, when it's not, things of that nature. It's an incredible episode. You got to check it out, especially if this is something that you're currently doing. If you currently are utilizing birth control. And IUDs have issues too. So that's a whole nother concept. But the main thing is that birth control is manipulating your body. And that is going to have effects down the line, a multitude of different effects. Obviously, weight gain is a big thing because you're messing with the hormones within your body, and that's causing imbalance. And when you have imbalance, that means the system is not doing what it's supposed to do, right? So there's a bunch of things that go along with that. So understand that the moment you make these decisions, there's going to be an effect. Every cause has an effect. So when you make these short-term choices, these short-term plugs, these manipulations, these little tricks, you're going to have to deal with it at some point. Everything comes to pass, right? You're plugging in a hole, opening up another, and eventually the ship is going to sink. We don't want to sink. It's not what we're about here on Eat, Live Naturally by any means. If you feel me, let me know. Let me know in the comments that you feel what I'm saying right now. So, medicine. I mean, this is the ultimate manipulation. Because it's such a short-term thought process. It is such a reactive way of looking at health. My blood pressure's high. I need to take blood pressure pills so I can manipulate my blood pressure, right? What else? I have a lot of gas. I have a lot of bloating. So I'm going to take Gas X to eliminate the gas and the bloating. Right? Some people might say, well, that's simple. That's 1 + 1 = 2. Well, it's not. It's actually not, because the bloating doesn't go away unless you take the gas X. So now and then you're not understanding that you are introducing petrochemicals to your body. So plugging in one hole, opening up another. So taking gas X every day, or Tums every day, or Rolaids every day is the same thing as eating processed food every day. Like, your body's going to treat it the same way. And the manipulation that you're doing, like the reason that your body feels that way, as if you watched my video last week, it's your body speaking to you. It's communicating with you. It's letting you know that there's something wrong. You're bloating, you have gas. Okay, well then you ate something to produce that. Whether that was food that was too fermented, or dehydrating foods like beans. Like, your body is or bad food combining. All those different things can cause gas and bloating within the system. But we just want to take gas X and keep it moving, not knowing what that gas X and those Tums and those things of that nature, they're going to do in the long run. That's the concept of medicine. We don't want to get to the foundation of the issue. We just want to treat it and keep it moving. Not understanding that introducing these extra chemicals and manipulating the body are going to leave us in a really bad situation down the line. Really bad situation. The next Eat and Live Naturally I'm going to be doing is Monday, talking about how long we're supposed to live. How do we know how long we're supposed to live? Please tune in for that, because it's a great follow-up to this particular episode. Because all these short-term fixes that we're doing, it's going to catch up. And there's a reason why life expectancy is what it is today. And there's reasons why there's certain cultures that have shattered those numbers. And we're going to get into all of that. But I'm going to finish up with the last one: coffee and energy drinks. The ultimate manipulators of the body. And I know a lot of you out there drink coffee. I was a coffee drinker. I gave up coffee a couple years ago and never looked back. But coffee was a mainstay of my life for a very long time. So I get it. I completely get it. Completely do. But understand that coffee is merely manipulating your body. It is a stimulant. Number one, it stimulates your fight or flight risk. That's where the energy comes from, because your body's in fight or flight mode. Because the poison that you're ingesting, because that's what it is, caffeine and coffee is poison. They use it for poison for plants. Like, it is poison. It is toxic. And when you ingest it, fight or flight amps up from the adrenals, and that's where the quick burst of energy comes from. And it also prohibits your body from creating adenosine. You're stopping your body from doing something it naturally does, all while stimulating it by introducing poison to the body. That's a bad combination, people. And that's why coffee is associated with so many different diseases. Because you're getting a double whammy with coffee. Energy drinks takes that to another level. Look, think about this. When you get scared, when you get startled, right? You're driving and someone runs a red light right in front of you, right? that feeling, that heart rate, that quick burst of energy. That's your adrenal glands, right? You see yourself face to face with a coyote or a wild animal or something like that. That fight or flight, you know what I'm saying? That feeling, that's the adrenals. That's that adrenaline pumping. That's what coffee's doing. That's what these energy drinks are doing. Increasing your heart rate, increasing your blood pressure. All while the caffeine is reducing your body's ability to create adenosine. And adenosine is what makes us drowsy. It's what makes us, ultimately get tired, get to that relaxed feel. In addition to that, the stimulating aspect is now your body starts to rely on that. And that's where the crashes come into play. That's why you see people drink, drink 6, 7, 8 cups of coffee a day. Okay. You're going to have to keep doing that. But once again, plug the hole, open up others. So understand these concepts. I'm going to do a live on coffee itself because I just think it's so important. I know a lot of you out there have talked about removing coffee from your daily regimen, from your daily diet. And I know it's difficult. Look, I went through a week of withdrawal that was painful. Joint pain, inflammation, because the truth is because like when I stopped drinking it, now my adrenal glands had the ability to go into healing mode as well as the rest of my body. And my body was healing. That's what was going on for that 7 days. And it was painful. But after that 7 days, it was gone and I was good and I never looked back. Right? Was that the path of least resistance? Not at all. Because some people might hear that 7 days and be like, man, I don't want to go through that shit. I love coffee. But it's 7 days that are going to impact a lifetime and increase your lifetime. So think about it. So all in all, stop manipulating your body. Ask yourself those conscious questions all day. You should be talking to yourself all day and everything you do. And ask yourself that conscious question. Am I manipulating something? Am I tricking my body? Am I messing with the natural flow of my body? Right? Am I messing with the natural rhythms? Like, people do things so they can stay up later. Well, your body is tired and it wants to go to sleep. Why would you not let it? This is something I had to learn. I used to be a night bird until I started realizing that every time I went to bed after midnight, I felt like shit the next day. Didn't matter how much coffee, didn't matter what I did. I always woke up feeling like shit. Didn't matter how much sleep I got either. Something about the energy of the time, something about the circadian rhythms. Understand, your body is in flow with the universe, with nature, and you have to pay attention to the signs. Don't manipulate. Don't go against nature. You will lose every single time. So stop manipulating your body. If you feel me, throw me an emoji out there in the comments. All right, so I'll be back Monday instead of Wednesday. I'm going to do a Monday night Eat and Live Naturally Live Monday at, I believe, at 7:30 Central. Reason being is I'm going to be on vacation next week for about a week and a half. So, so I won't be able to do them on Wednesdays for that time period. But I'm going to do one Monday. We're going to talk about life expectancy. We're going to talk about how long we're supposed to live and knowing how long we're going to live. So please tune into that. And I do appreciate all of the support you guys have given me on my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get notified when I do go live, and click that little bell so you can get notified when I actually do go live. Right? That's kind of part of the process too. But also feel free, any comments, any feedback. If you want me to do an episode on anything specific, throw it in the comments. And let me know, because like I said, this show is for the betterment of humanity, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you all, everybody watching on Facebook. Appreciate the love as well. And I'm out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace, love, and